Well, I feel really great. I feel very relieved. This past 3 or 4 weeks has probably been the most stressful in my career, and I've been through a lot of things in my career, so I think that's saying something. But I feel really great. I feel really positive about the future of the agency and continuing to do great work that we've been doing for decades and decades and decades.
What would you like to say to the public for, basically a continuation of services? People are concerned when there's a sudden change like this that didn't go through an election process.
Sure.
What would you say to the public?
I would say I would not worry about any worry of a change in services because really for the agency, it's not that sudden of a change. I've been with the agency for 21 years. I've had a lot of leadership roles within the agency. They know who I am and they know what I'm about, and the Sheriff's Office functions very well and gives great service to the public, and we're just going to continue to do that. So the public should have no fear of any change. If nothing else, we'll keep making improvements like we always do.
So speaking of the future of the agency, Commissioner Davidson had mentioned criminal justice reform. Is that something you think is important in Ada County and is something that you would want to work on with the Sheriff's Office?
I couldn't hear.
Oh, sorry, the criminal justice reform?
Oh, yeah.
Is that something that you think is important in Ada County and something that you would want to focus on and work on with the Sheriff's Office?
I think some of the things that I'd like to continue working on as a Sheriff's Office in regards to that are a lot of our programs that we have, both in the jail and outside the jail, trying to keep our jail population low, keeping the right people inside the jail, and keeping the right people outside while holding them accountable. I think we do a great job of that. We have some really new programs coming up with our Community Transition Center and expanding our pretrial release. And those types of things are going to be positive impact on the public and have a good positive impact on taxpayers as far as not having to house as many inmates. We'll see what the future brings for jail expansion, but if we can keep these programs going in a positive way, we may be able to slow that down a bit.
And what do you have to say to your two opponents at this time?
I'd say good job for stepping up and going the extra mile to try and get this appointment. It's not an easy thing, especially when you've been out of the law enforcement game for a while, I believe. So I think they did a good job, and I wish them best of luck.
You talked a little yesterday, or Wednesday rather, about planning for 2024 and how that timeline then became accelerated. What was the most important thing that you tried to cram in and develop to get ready for this?
So there are kind of two sides to a position like sheriff. There's an operational side and there's a political side. So the operational side for me is very easy because I've been in a lot of different parts of the agency, held a lot of different roles, been around for a long time. So what I really had to cram in, so to speak, were just how the politics worked, who people were, what they cared about within politics, and just maneuver that world. And I'll continue to do that, but I think I've already learned so much, and I'll have a lot to learn still, that I can see me getting a good grasp on it fairly quickly.
Who were some of the people that you were learning from?
I had a lot of guidance from some of the elected officials in the courthouse, people I knew already that I could turn to and say, I'm not an elected official. I work for the Sheriff's Office, but I don't understand politics. A lot of the mayors, like the Star Mayor and the Eagle Mayor, were pretty epic in helping me maneuver that world. They're very good in politics. They have a good grasp on what's going on in the Republican Party, what's going on in our communities, and so I was able to turn to them, and they were happy to assist me.
So you were the only candidate who was in law enforcement. So being in law enforcement, have you seen sort of more public scrutiny or more public distrust in the past year? And now that you are sheriff, is there things that you would want to do to maybe change that perception?
So I think we're pretty lucky in the part of the country in which we live. When things started to go take a turn for the worse in law enforcement in the country, we had that sort of air of how is the public going to react to us here? Even though all of those things happened somewhere else, they affect us here, whether that's right or wrong. What we saw was an outpouring from our community, and we have gotten more support in the last year from our community than ever before. It's always been there, but we have people that make us sign, their kids make signs for us, cards for us, treats, and they just come by and say hi and tell us how much they appreciate us. And that is a big deal in this day and age in law enforcement, because the things that you see on TV or on the news, a lot of those things aren't happening here. And sometimes, even as law enforcement, we need a reminder to say, you know what, we're really doing a good job, we're doing the right thing. Let's continue to move forward and get better and learn maybe from the mistakes of others and not make those mistakes here.
Are you looking for any guidance from former Sheriff Bartlett at this time as you begin your new position?
All my guidance right now will come from Chief Deputy Johnson. I have not spoken with Sheriff Bartlett since he left the agency, and I will turn to Chief Deputy. He's known me my whole career, literally, and he's been at the agency for a very long time. He has a lot of knowledge, and it will be a no-brainer for him to guide me and be my advisor.
Anything else we missed that you'd like to cover or say?
You know, I don't know how to thank all of the people in the community, some of which don't even know me, but did their research and decided that's the candidate I like, even though it's not a public vote. It's important for public officials to hear from the community, and that's what happened. The employees of the Ada County Sheriff's Office backed me up a lot. As you heard from Commissioner Kenyon, I believe it was 98% of the letters that were sent in by employees were in favor of me. So again, it's not a vote, but it sure shows that if you get involved in your government and let your elected officials know how you think and know which direction you'd like them to go, that it means something. So I'd just like to thank everybody, all the elected officials that backed me, the mayors, the public, my friends, family, I mean, you name it. And the only way I can really think to thank them back is to do a good job and keep the agency running smoothly like it does and provide good service to the public.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Wasn't too hard, was it?
Congratulations.
No, that one was easier than all of the other ones I'd done before.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you go.
I mean, all the other ones I've done in the last few weeks. All right, let's
God
we gotta
bless
take
this
these off in
man.
order.
God bless our
Spread Russian roulette at
commissioners,
the,
and
Yeah, don't worry.
God bless
I think
you.
that's
God
what
bless
it's
America.